Welcome to Car Talk with Matty J. You're on it's another Tuesday night. You're here on 98.9 Northwest FM. Tonight we're going to continue with our All About series, where we're going to be talking about all about probably the most famous, I'd say, sports car / roadster ever. Biggest selling one, I guess, the Mazda MX5. I'm joined in the studio with two old-timers, but one new guy, but we'll get to him very shortly. Rhysie K, what's going on?
How are you, man? Good to be here.
That's always well, always well. And James, formerly from Established, I should say now.
Hey, how's it going?
Not bad, mate, not bad. James, would you like to introduce your friend?
Yeah, sweet. So, this is Daniel Novak.
Hello.
And Novak and I go way back from the days of Established, and Novak now runs his own little thing called Auto Refuge.
Okay, so you guys met through Established, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. We started working together with making events and running the whole Established page, and yeah, had a good time doing it.
Yeah. Established, I remember at one stage was like massive, and now it's kind of just it's kind of finalised, right? That's what's happened to it, or
yeah, the CEO, I suppose, has decided to close the business down and moved on to bigger and better things. I suppose.
Things. Yeah. So where does that leave you guys? Like, or James in particular, because you've moved on to is it Auto Refuge?
Yeah, Auto Refuge.
Yeah, cool. So what do you guys do there?
With that, we're a clothing accessory, car accessory seller.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So any apparel, detailing, hose clamps, all different brands from all over the world, and yeah, that's what we took on.
Oh, nice, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and James, so obviously with Established and no longer running, are you moving on to two different things now, or where are you heading?
So possibly in the new year, come out with like a new brand or a clique, and just like blog and go from there.
Cool. Yeah. No, it's just weird because Established was quite big for quite a while, and
yeah. For besides possibly grip shift slide, we were probably the other major contributor.
Yeah. In
that sense, we did our own events, our own blog posts, had our own apparel. So yeah, it's we've gone more the apparel side of things. Yeah. With Auto Refuge, but yeah, it was a good stepping stone to learn a lot of things and meet a lot of great people.
Yeah, and I guess you make contacts, network, bigger and better things now for you.
Hopefully, yeah.
So it sounds good. So. Obviously, if you're into all this stuff, you're a massive car guy.
I am, yes.
Car history. I don't know much about your car history.
I know you're here for a while.
I know you've got an IS 200, a 6-speed outside.
Yes,
which is I'm a big fan of those. That shape. I love the dash cluster. I've driven a few IS 300s because I always wanted an IS 300. Could never get one. Because all the ones in Victoria, for some reason, are crazy overpriced compared to everywhere else, and the fact that they only come automatic.
Yes.
Here, in the States, they got a manual, I believe. But having said that, you've still got a manual. Technically, you're 50% of the way there.
Yeah, halfway there. I got the looks and the right gearbox, but the boat engine, the boat anchor for an engine. So, looking forward to changing that at some stage.
So you were thinking, we're talking outside, 1UZ?
Yeah, 1UZ or 2UZ.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Nice compact V8. Something different. Most people convert them to a 1J or 2J or go from there, but I don't know. A V8 might be a bit different.
And it's been done before, and it's a 1UZ or 2UZ for that matter as well is a really, really, really good engine. Like they're strong. They make I reckon they're one of the nicest sounding V8s. Like dead set with the right exhaust, they sound really good.
Yeah, and not only that, they're very smooth and
they are.
There's not too much you have to do to it, especially in a light chassis like the IS 200, 300 or Tesla, if you prefer. So, yeah, and something to look forward to in the coming months, I suppose.
Yeah, man, that sounds actually really good. I'm guessing that they have conversion kits as well. Like you'd be able.
Yeah, there's not particularly in Australia, but more so in England, in the US.
Okay.
They bolt all manner of engines and conversions into them, so you just pick the right parts to suit your need, I suppose, and go from there.
Hashtag Rhys with LS the world, because he...
LS has set the stepping stones.
Set the stepping stones guy. But your car history, like, probably your more, I don't know, excitable cars, I should say, if they've not all been.
No, they haven't all been, but I have owned a couple of 350Zs. One was a turbo.
Cool.
When I was 18, I had my first import, which was a 180SX.
Nice.
So that was a bit of fun. I've had an MX5, so
Okay, well that's
very suitable for today's show, I suppose.
which one? NA and B?
NA6.
Ah, cool.
So the first of.
Yeah.
89 model.
Yeah,
so,
nice. Yeah.
It's
Early
a
one,
really,
yeah.
really cool car. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Have you had anything besides Japanese cars, or just been pretty much just all Jap?
No. Had a Mark 1 Golf for a time.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
A diesel one. So
That's even more rare. Yeah.
that's a really old man spec. Also had a VK Commodore in my early years.
Okay,
Nice,
there you go.
nice.
He's happy.
But I always tend to go back to my Japanese stuff.
Japanese stuff's always a bit of fun. There's plenty of aftermarket, and
Yeah, the support for it, and there's heaps of stuff out there.
Yeah. Well, look, we're going to go to our first break of the night. We're going to come back talking about all about Mazda's MX-5. We've done Mazda 2 weeks in a row. We did the RX-7 last week, and James is pissed off because he missed it. But we're going to go to a song by The Midnight for all you synthwavers out there. Song's called Sunset. We'll be right back after this. You're back on CarTorque with Matty J. That was The Midnight with Sunset. Real cool track. Like The Midnight's work. Very, very cool. Now, we're going to be talking all things MX-5. You've had an MX-5, and you showed me your MX-5 during the break.
Yeah.
It is pretty damn epic. It was pretty damn epic, I should say.
Yeah, once upon a time it was a pretty cool car.
So you bought it stock. This is an NA 1989, like one of the first ones.
Yeah, one of the first to come out. Yeah.
Yeah. And you pretty much did like you went ham pretty much. You went nuts.
Yeah, I went. Yeah, I didn't leave it standard for very long, so I just started looking online what I liked, what I didn't like, and started piecing it all together. And I was lucky to find a really good guy who imports a lot of wheels and some very specific Mazda stuff.
Ruprecht?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and Dan, top bloke, and he helped me heaps with everything, like especially the Mazda speed stuff, the rare stuff.
Yeah.
So I was lucky enough to meet him at the right time, and
Yeah.
yeah.
He's big with the I know he's big with the 323 Estina boys as well.
Yeah.
I'm on a few of those pages with my other car, so tons of parts you can get. I think James got some wheels off him at one stage.
Yeah, I got some MSO ones off him.
Yeah, so yeah, definitely. There's some good parts people in there in the know. I mean, some of the parts are quite expensive, but they're hard to find parts.
Well, that's it. Like all these things didn't come to Australia.
Yeah.
So if you have someone who knows how to get them and can do it at a really good price for it, well, you do it, you buy it when you can.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to give a quick spiel as I do for when I do a special about each car. So I've written something up, and I will get your opinion on what you think. Straight up to me, the Japanese Mazda MX-5 is the best British sports car ever made. It's arguably the most reliable because people who know British cars know that they
fall apart.
That comment what I just made is probably the most hated by the original proper guys who like British sports cars. But enthusiasts deep down know that it is the best one. It's arguably it's truer than a British sports car.
Well, it did get a lot of its design features from
the Elan
especially the Lotus Elan, but also the MGs of times of old, and that's why they even had a British racing green.
They did,
so.
yeah, on the NA as well.
Correct. Yeah.
So Japanese had a knack of making things reliable and things that are full of tech. They didn't use the full of tech part, but they really made things reliable in the MX-5. The Mazda MX-5 debuted in 1989, to which it has continued production till now and has become the best-selling roadster, also sports car of all time. The story of the MX-5 could have been very different, but we are glad we got the front-engine, rear-wheel drive, two-door car we have today. Its origins spawned over a conversation of how British sports cars do not really exist anymore. This happened between Bob Hall, then a journalist at Motor Trend, when he spoke to Kenichi Yamamoto, I'm going to get those Japanese names wrong, and Guy Arai, who were the head of R&D at Mazda at the time. This was in 1976. Hall got a job in 1981 for Mazda and spoke to the chairman. I spoke to now chairman of Mazda Motors, Yamamoto, and they both remember the conversation they had about the British sports car. So they gave their go-ahead for this program. The MX-5 could have been potentially a front-wheel drive or mid-engine car, but the purists got their way with the traditional front-engine rear-wheel drive layout. The car was based on Mazda's design credo of Jinba Itai, which means rider and horse as one body. Basically,
It's obviously not Japanese.
it's obviously not Japanese. The car was pretty much built to a few prerequisites. It had to be as light as possible with meeting global safety requirements. The cockpit could accommodate 2 full-size occupants with no wasted space. The basic layout would continue front engine, midship, rear-wheel drive configuration with a 50-50 weight distribution. That all 4 wheels would be attached by wishbone or multi-link suspension systems to maximise grip, stability, and a power plant that would again provide a solid connection between the engine and rear-mounted differential to sharpen the throttle response. In 1989, Mazda released the first-gen NA Mazda MX5, or NA-Mate, Miata or Roadster, came out with a 1.6 or a 1.8 litre engine using Mazda's tried and true B6 series or BP series engines. While not highly powered, the true essence of a sports car was the way it handled. The MX5 came with the best thing ever, pop-up headlights. I mean, come on.
Yeah, well, you don't see those anymore just due to safety reasons. So
that's why they took it out.
Yeah, that's why they all in the early 90s, I believe, they had to knock them all back.
Yeah, from NB onwards,
Yeah, that's
they were
right,
like,
yeah.
no, we can't do
That's
it
a
anymore.
stupid reason.
Yeah, pedestrians, yeah.
Who cares about pedestrians, really?
And cyclists.
They stuffed their camber as well.
Oh, jeez. The MX5 also came up with independent rear suspension, disc brakes, and a light 970 kilo curb weight. The only transmission that should have been available was the 5-speed manual, even though an auto was an option. Stories emerged about the gearshift being a copied version of the Lotus Elan, the car that it was supposed to be benchmarked against. The car was an absolute hit and carried various special editions all through the range. The second gen, and what I consider to be the most unloved MX5 by the public, debuted in '98 with the code NB, or not bad in Aussie lingo, not bad, NB. Yeah. This one dropped the pop-ups, but gained glimpses of third gen RX-7 by being designed by the same designer, I believe. The 1.8 litre engine remained, but was significantly revised with a high compression ratio, forged connecting rods and pistons, freer flowing manifold, and higher output as a result. My personal favourite version of the MX-5 came out in this model with the MX-5 SE or Mazda Speed.
Yeah, so that was the 1.8 turbo edition. That's a lot of people love.
And they're crazy on the out. Like they're so expensive.
Yeah, the
20 grand.
20 grand, yeah,
man.
and you can get a base normal one for about half that, maybe
Less,
even less.
yeah.
So it's one of those things that the purists will fight over.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at this. A good listener of the show, he's from America, Dave. He was telling me that the Mazda Speeds over there are worth like they're cheap. They're like $6,000 there, but that's because they released a lot more than they did here. But they're not as loved in that aspect as they are here, and I think they hold their value just that little bit more.
Yeah, as with anything that's rare, I mean, if we didn't get it and some other country had it, it's wanted.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's why there's so many NA guys and MB guys turboing and supercharging their cars, because we didn't have a forced induction option. So,
Yeah,
why not give it a crack?
that's exactly right, and I think it looked good too. This car, like they went to town and they had a full going over with upgraded suspension, upgrades to the clutch and gearbox, different body kit, and really nice looking wheels, which I think set the car off.
Yeah, I think they were 5-spoke.
They were 5-spokes,
as opposed to the NA's daisy looking ones.
Yeah, they were 14 inches or something at the time. Yeah.
Good for cheap tyres though.
Good for cheap skids, as Mr. LS over here would like.
Oh, more so for your track days, your semis and stuff are much better in 14.
They are.
Yeah.
With our track car, we've got 14-inch ROH adrenalines. Terrible wheels, but they got a set of 76 on there now, and it's
The slicks are probably worth more than the.
Oh yeah, they are. Well,
Yeah.
we got the wheels for like $50. So, we painted them green, because hashtag race car. As a result, this was my favourite version of the MX-5. But an even more rarer version was released as an Australian only version called the SP. Did you hear about the SP?
Yeah, I couldn't say I know a heap about it, but yeah, I know it's one of the other options out there.
It did exist. It was an Australian kind of like aftermarket, but not aftermarket. It was actually sold by Mazda, I believe. It was not approved by Mazda International or
Mazda Japan. Yeah.
Mazda Japan, but it was sold here only in Australia, and it had a lot more power than the SE, but featured standard suspension and it pretty much looked like the standard car. The third gen NC began in 2005 and was the first real major change to the MX5 since debut. The NC came with two different engines, or 2 litre and a 1.8, which both featured a much different body and for the first time offered a metal automatic roof as an option. Again, like the previous versions, it featured very many variations, but the one that intrigued me the most was the lightweight, which was a concept with no windshield. The fourth and current version of the MX5 is the ND, which again was a full restyle, and I think is the best looking MX5 to come out of Mazda since the original. Its lines are sharp, and my phone's going off, and the car looked like a proper ride sitting still. It was released in 2015 with no hardtop option until recently, with the RF or retractable fastback version hitting the scene. Personally, I think the RF is the best looking MX5, as I am a sucker for like a good looking Tigerish type car.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of torn on that. Like,
you reckon?
A part of me is like, okay, it's got good coupe styling, but I don't know. An MX5 should be a convertible. It should be a proper hairdresser's car. It has to be.
We'll get to hairdressers in a minute, because I actually know hairdressers that drive MX5s. The engines on offer this time for the ND were two different Skyactiv engines at 1.5 and 2 litres respectively. It was also 100 kilos lighter than the previous model in soft top version, not in the retractable fastback. Also, the previous one was a bit too round for my liking. It was trying to look.
Yeah, I think the over accentuated flares, like on the front guards and rear guards, just didn't. I don't know. To me, it just looked a bit bulky. Didn't look fast. Didn't look sleek. It just looked fat. Yeah, it looked like a middle-aged man's car.
Yeah.
Like, middle-aged hairdresser, but yeah, I don't know. I think the NC kind of lost me there.
Yeah,
the first two, NA, NB, yeah, great. NC dipped, and then come back with the ND.
And it's a good-looking car, even with the soft top. It's a really nice car.
Yeah, it's a nice aggressive front, and it suits the time.
It does.
I think a lot of cars these days have got that really sharp lines, and yeah, with a kit and nice wheels, they look very nice.
Yeah,
even stand for them, but there's no limit to the modifications that can be done.
Yeah, no, I can completely agree. I reckon, like I've seen some of the NCs done quite nicely, and I'm like, okay, I can dig that, but especially a Series 1, not a big fan of.
Yeah, they're few and far between though.
Yeah,
nice looking NCs.
Yeah, definitely in agreement on that. This model, the ND, shares its platform with the new 124 Fiat Spider, but that uses a 1.4 turbo instead of Mazda's naturally aspirated versions. Personally, I think they are the best roadsters/sports cars to be currently on offer, and arguably the best of all time. They're incredible fun to drive, good value for money, hold their value very well, and make an awesome car for a project with a huge aftermarket available for it. People say the answer is always MX5/Miata, and you know what? I'd have to agree, because they can be used for anything, for track, for whatever you want to make them for. They are the car.
They're a good. I think it'd be a good P-platers car too.
Yeah, they are.
Especially if you want to learn manual.
Easy clutch.
Yeah, very easy, very light. You can work on it yourself, especially the NA and B models. Like, you don't need to have an engineering degree.
No.
You can, turn a spanner yourself. And yeah, they're readily available, and it won't cost you a lot of coin to. It's good bang for buck.
Yeah. I saw with the current ND version, there's a company in the States called Flying Miata. I don't know if you've
Flying Miata. Yeah.
They put it
for a while.
Yeah. Oh, you've dealt with them, or?
Yeah, I've bought parts from them. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, from overseas. Yeah.
They've offered they've offered always turbocharged and supercharged options, but they've also offered for old mate Rhysie here an LS3 version of an ND MX5. Which I don't know if you know who Matt Farrer is from the Smoke and Tire.
Yes.
Yeah, he did a review on it. And he's like, it's a mini Corvette.
Oh, really?
He said it was freaking hilarious.
Yeah, the States, they do some crazy stuff with MX5s. I know there is one guy who's got a an RB26 twin turbo, so from a GTR engine. For those that aren't familiar. And the thing is insane. There's a great video of him online losing it down the drag strip, and the car goes full 90 degree one way, 90 degree the other way, and he holds it all the way down.
That's bad.
And it's insane. Like, you just look at this car guy and just go, nah, he's going to put it into the wall, and he holds it.
What series was it?
NA.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so it's the...
And a fit?
He made it fit. Like,
because they're quite a long engine, yeah.
The radiator was mounted in the boot.
Okay.
And it split a coolant hose onto one of the tyres, and that's what flicked him.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, if you ever get a chance, highly recommend checking out.
I'm guessing that'll be on Old Mate YouTube?
Yeah, on our friend's YouTube.
I'd have to ask you boys, why do you like MX5s? Like, I've said why I like it. You've obviously liked it because, the availability and, parts, and you can make them your own, really. They're kind of like Lego cars, really. Like,
yeah,
you can just put them together.
Yeah, you can basically get any kind of part you can think of, you can find for an MX5.
Yeah.
You can get a full cage, you can get a half cage, you can get a style bar, you can have variants of hard tops, variants of seats. Like, you can really make it your own and make it do whatever you want it to do. If you want to have a circuit track car, you can do it. If you just want to have as a lot of the younger guys do, just sitting on the ground, just scraping, with nice dished wheels, it'll pull it off and it'll look really nice.
Low and slow.
Yeah, you can do like Rocket Bunny kind of kits on it too. So it can be anything you want it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's the beauty about those cars because there's so many available. I mean, it's you can really. I mean, they're kind of like Mustangs in the States where you can just go nuts. Like they're a car that you make your own. You buy them just as a blank canvas. I mean, there's like you can say like other people cars like other cars like like your high end like GTRs and stuff. Or you put a nice set of wheels. That's it. These cars you can just go to town on, and I think that's what makes them such an individually loved car.
Yeah, I think with the GTRs and stuff, it always is the chase for power.
Yeah.
Whereas with the Mazda, you should more focus on the handling.
Yeah.
It's a lot more fun to drive a slow car fast
than a fast car slow.
Yeah.
I completely agree. I have more fun in my Laser than I have in the F6 because I'm constantly like I've red line because and I'm going 50 km per hour.
Yeah, you just you're sending it because you have to.
Yeah. And being a little 2-liter version itself, it's it's not slow, but it's a light agile chassis. You just throw it around, and I think that's what makes light cars and small cars really, really so much fun.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. Yeah,
that's what I agree about 100%. Something in that era that's basically like the tunability that you have, and at a cost price point, it's like nothing compared to other cars that are out there. So I 100% agree. Like, the thing isn't the quickest car in the world, but
it's supposed to be. Yeah,
it's like heaps of fun to drive.
Yeah.
So that's
my plus point. I think the old Civics, ED,
like an EK.
Yeah.
I mean, again, you can make them your own as well, and they're so much fun around the track as well.
They are.
Especially at Winton, you see a lot of the guys with K swaps or even just
they go nuts.
Yeah, and they're so much fun to drive as well.
If you've listened to the show, like our track cars are Toyota Paseo.
Oh, okay.
So we're in the Nugget Nationals, and so many Civics are in that, and they fly around the track, man. And honestly, the drivers come out of them like grin, from ear to ear.
Yeah.
So really, really good value. It's small light cars. I mean, what can you say?
You can't go wrong with a small light car. Just up the engine a bit and go for it.
Go for it. Look, we're going to go to a second break in the night. We're going to go to a song by Luna George. It's called Turn Up the Love. We'll be right back after this. You're back on CarTorque with Matty J. Still here in the studio with James, formerly from Established.
I have to hurry up and make a new brand so you can call me that.
Yes.
Off the wags.
Yeah, you're going to have to take the stickers off the wag.
You should leave them on
Dan
there, man. Adds value.
Rhys. We're talking all things MX5 tonight on the show because I reckon it is a really, really good, very good car. Now, in terms of value, NAs are going back up.
Yeah, they're starting to develop their cult following. People are realising
that they're a good car.
Yeah, they're a good car and they're a lot of fun. And yeah, as with anything, once a few too many people get the idea, it starts driving the prices.
I mean, and they're pretty much most of them now are eligible for club reg, so like
Yep,
they make
so-
a really good second car.
Yep, good weekend cruiser. I mean, you and the partner just going out for a thing, or if you want to have a track day car,
Yeah.
same thing. Like it's cheap base to work off. So
Or if you want to like get away from the kids because there's only 2 seats. You can.
yeah, lucky for me, no kids. No, not. So yeah.
that you know of. Yeah, really, really good value at the moment. And if there's a car that's going to like go up in value, that's from that 80s era, that's yet to really, really, my phone again, which I thought I turned off. That I think's really about to blow. Mark 1 MX5s, NA MX5s are I reckon next on the list.
Yeah, they'll be right up there. Also, anything early 90s.
Yep.
Yeah, based around that. I mean, obviously the R32 Skyline GTR, that's always going to go up in value because of
American can get them as
GTR.
well now.
Yeah, that's it. As soon as America and Canada could get their hands on them, they just started buying everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, for I suppose the cheaper end of the scale, yeah, you've got the MX5 and even some of the CRXs and things,
Yeah.
the early Hondas. Yeah,
Even those later Del Sol ones,
yeah, the Gen 3.
Gen 3s, yeah.
Yeah,
Dude, I cannot find an EK9, and I'm just trying to find one just to like have as a second car. And
Really,
they're like,
there's none out there.
oh, there is, but they're in Sydney, and like they're hammered. But like,
that was in Cabramatta in Sydney.
What's the,
We can't say much.
Nugget Nationals. I think we just found one.
It has to be 1.5 litres or under. MX5s come out as 1.6,
1.6.
unless it's a new one, which is an 1.5. I know, but you can still run you can still run there. You won't be eligible to win like a trophy for this.
Just get a penalty.
Fun.
No, it is. You can like flog your MX5 around. Like there's tons of MX5s that come around with us, Breeze. Mate, Ellis, take your Ellis engine out of your wagon and put it in one of those. How does that sound? Yeah, no, it's reality, Reese. Well, you wanna manual swap your car, right? So,
One day we'll get there.
I'm knocking him out with a microphone. You can buy a second wagon or a second sedan that's been like wrapped around a pole, as previously mentioned. That they're all like they're everywhere.
You can't find a wagon, but let's keep going.
A sedan.
Yep.
Yep. Get the 6-speed out. Put that in your car. Get the engine and put it in an MX5. There you go.
Yeah, it's all easy.
Easy.
Simple.
Simple.
Drop straight
So
in.
you
Just
buy,
shut it.
you
That's
buy
it.
3
Don't
cars to
stress.
build 2. Is that correct?
Essentially, yeah.
Well, that's
So-
how I've done a lot of my cars. It does become costly and time consuming and space consuming, but you get there in the end.
I do need a
You
daily.
end up with a result.
I need a daily bad.
Mate, MX5 all day, every day.
Yeah, MX5. Just don't go shopping, don't buy anything, don't
Yeah.
take anyone with you, and you'll be fine.
No more lifts in the ute because in the wagon I should say, because you will essentially have a 2-seater. I mean,
That would be handy.
I mean, look, I really wanted an early MX5 or a Jay's walking back into the studio giving us the good old salute. I wanted one of those, an AW11 MR2, or
Yes, yeah.
I'm still trying to find a one that's within my budget, or even a Series 2 SW20 because the Series 1s were kind of a bit Bambi on ice.
Yeah, I don't know. If you're going to go MR2, you have to get the AW11 and make sure you get a supercharged one.
Yes,
And then-
with the 4AG ZE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you do go the SW20s, you have to throw a V6 out of a Sportivo in it.
Yeah,
Those things are insane.
they go good.
Yeah, really well done.
Apparently, like a lot of people reckon they go better than the turbo ones from like in factory form. Like,
Yeah.
but everyone's like, oh, you can always Caldina swap, SW20, and it's a better version of the 3S GT apparently.
Yeah,
from what I've heard.
I mean, with the 3SG, that's the new 4Age in terms of 4AGE.
Yeah,
In terms of availability for aftermarket, because they came in
everything.
everything over there as well, especially like the Altezza. That's got
yeah.
a massive following.
Yeah,
over
that's got the beams.
correct.
yeah.
Yeah. So with the Yamaha head and
Yeah, yeah.
some other little bits and pieces, but yeah,
Is that a 20 valve head?
I'm not sure. I don't believe so. I could be wrong, but
Okay.
I don't think so. I think it's just a straight 16.
Yeah, okay.
I think the 4Age had
For
the 20.
valve, that's right.
That's right. Yeah, with the ITBs hanging
Yes.
off the side of them.
Dope. Yeah.
Yeah. straight ITBs from factory. How could you go wrong with that
I
engine?
mean, they sound insane.
Yeah, a good friend of mine, he had one in a front-wheel drive Corolla.
Oh, dope.
The
yeah.
Torino.
Yeah, yeah.
After the AE86, and that thing was insane. Just on wide open throttle. You just hear this car coming on the freeway, and then popping flames and stuff. It was sick.
And they were a 6-speed too as well, weren't they?
Yeah.
They were a really cool car.
Yeah, they also had like I think we mostly got the autos, but there were a lot of manual ones that got imported, and yeah, insane car, so much fun.
They're worth good money too.
Yeah, if you can find them in good condition,
in good nick. There's a few. Sorry.
The trophy tax.
Not necessarily on that one.
Inherited trophy.
Yeah,
Inherited trophy tax. Really, really cool car. I've always been a big fan of those. Anything small and Japanese has always been a bit of fun for me.
Yeah, I must say I love my CRX, Gen 2 CRX.
Gen 2 series is hot.
Yeah, I had a
Gen 1 Civic.
Yeah, I had a Gen 1 Civic.
Okay.
Yeah, an old school Civic. That was cool. I'll never forget when I first picked that one up, and I was driving back home on the freeway, and this newer model EP Type R zipped past me, and then he slowly backed off and just saw this guy just driving this. It was the loveliest in poo brown.
Oh, it's a
with
quality
brown
car.
interior.
Quality car.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Quality 70s car.
Yeah, definitely.
And just the looks on these two young guys with seeing like this old school thing, and me, like it didn't go anywhere. It was 1.3 or 1.5 litres. It was just nothing.
Yeah.
But so much fun to drive again, lightweight, and just hammer it down on the freeway.
Yeah.
It didn't go anywhere fast, but it was a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah. I'll get your thought on EP3s. What do you reckon they're worth the 20 grand people ask for them? I mean, they don't go that well for 20 grand. I mean, there's tons of other cars that you'd buy for 20 grand. That'd be
More for the motor, I guess.
Yeah, I think that and the suspension, because it's different than the FN2.
Yeah, because they've got IRS. The
correct.
EP3s,
yeah, and whereas the FN2s don't. So, I mean, there's that aspect, and I don't know. It's a squarish shape. I know. So it all comes down to personal preference, but I don't think I wouldn't spend 20 grand on one unless it was a lot of work had been put into it.
Yeah,
that's me. I mean, there's so many other cars, as you said, for 20 grand you could buy.
You could buy the best AW11 in the country for that.
Probably buy two.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the thing with within the $20,000 bracket. If you ever play the game of you've got 10 grand, what can you spend, or you got 20 grand, what can you spend? But it has to be.
We've done that a few times on the show.
I mean, like the amount of cars that come to mind, and even some of the Euros now, bang for buck, you can't go past.
Yeah.
So, nice way to get into, a Euro scene if that's your thing is.
If you're worried about also expensive parts.
Yeah, well, yeah. Look, I think parts are getting a lot cheaper.
They are, yeah.
So, I mean, again, it's just all who you know and where you go to. So that helps when you have mates in the industry, I suppose.
It does.
Just come see us.
Yeah. SCA represent. Look, James asked me to set you up with a car quiz.
Oh, great.
So,
here you go.
Yeah. Reese heads the mic over because it's not his turn for a change.
Speaking of wrapping things around poles, watch me crash and burn.
Let me get my music set up. Give me one moment. How are you with on the spot quizzes anyway? Just out of curiosity, because this is your first time on the show and first time on radio as well, right?
Yeah. Well, we'll see how we go, won't we?
We will. So this is the CarTorque car.
The headphones, it gets intense.
Oh yeah, the headphones is my intensive music is what makes this like.
Do I win $1 million if I get all more right, or what? How does this work?
No, you have to get the balls in the slots, remember?
No, I'll tell you what.
Story of my life.
I'll give you my car if you get them all right. How's that sound? Actually, you might. I'll take that back.
You just heard that? Can you just message in and got witnesses?
I can give you the number. It's 0447777989. I don't think I've got the actual one on this USB. I think I brought my USB, my wrong USB. But anyway, well, this is the CarTorque car quiz, and I will.
You can also pass as well.
You can also pass and come back to it a bit later.
Okay,
that is definitely available to do. Okay, so question 1. Ford has just released a special version of the RS Focus. What is it called?
No idea.
Okay,
Pass.
my car is safe. Question 2. The Mazda RX-7 was true or false? The original Mazda RX-7 was available with a turbo.
False.
That's correct. Question 3. True or false? The latest Lexus LC range only comes as a hybrid.
True.
False.
Oh.
It comes as a hybrid and a 5-litre V8.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was always hybrid. But
No,
that's cool.
yeah, it is cool that they've kept like a non-hybrid version.
Yeah. Especially with the way everyone's going with hybrid is the new thing. So
It is, yeah. Have you seen that? It's a good-looking car.
yeah, very nice. Car.
Yeah, I saw one on the street on Chapel Street like a couple of weeks ago. God, it was nice. I'm like, I've seen it in pictures, but this is the first time I've seen one close up, and actually people around it taking photos.
Oh, really?
And it's a Lexus, so it says something about it. Question 4: Holden have officially ended the SS name for the Commodore. For their latest Commodore, which will be released 2018, what will the sports variant be called?
Oh, Holdens are not my thing, man. I'll pass on that one.
Pass that one. Question 2: The car that this new Commodore will be based on is the Opel what?
Piece of shit. Because it will be an Opel.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Half a point for that.
yeah. I'll give you half a point just because of that. No clue.
No.
You can pass.
Pass on that
All
one.
right, easy. Question 6: A TR6060 is a what?
Turbo.
No, it's a gearbox.
Oh.
It's the newer version of a T56.
Oh, right.
Tronic, yeah. Question 7: Audi originally used Quattro in what decade?
Ooh, 1980s, I would say.
It is the
because that's when
80s.
they entered into the rally Group B.
That is
and
correct.
With all the accidents and the really
Killer
cool
bees.
cars.
Killer bees, yeah, pretty much. The best time for rally.
Ever.
Ever.
Some of those videos, though, they freak you out. They're awesome.
They were like clinically insane. These people that drove those
Yeah,
cars.
a lot of those guys actually developed tunnel vision.
Yeah,
Because they were going that fast, so...
that is a scary reality. Well, you've answered the next question. For what purpose was Quattro brought in for?
Group B rally.
That's correct. Question 9. Pictures have emerged of a new Toyota sports car this week. What model is it rumored to be?
The new Supra.
The new Supra, that's correct. Question 10. This new car will share its engine with what company?
Ooh, I have no idea on that one. I'd have to pass, actually.
Pass? Okay, well, we can come back to it. We'll go back up to... Ford has just released a special version of the Focus RS. What is it called?
I'll just call it the R.
Nah, the limited edition. It comes with a different... comes with a Quaife diff and a few other...
What's it called? Limited edition.
Limited edition, yeah.
So
I
it's,
think-
it's just called
the-
Focus Limited Edition or
RS, Focus RS Limited Edition, yeah.
Okay.
It's limited to 500 units, and after this, there'll be no more Focus RS. They're
disbanding.
they're finishing it. So,
Oh, wow.
in typical RS fashion, they're not bringing many of them around,
Yeah.
as they did with the last one. Where are we up to? Holden have officially ended the SS nameplate on the Commodore. What will the new sports model be called?
Reese, any idea? Because I'm at a
Everything
loss.
I've seen was still badged as Commodore.
All right, I'll give you a hint. Opel have named their other cars with that sports variant badging. It's 3 letters.
GTS,
VXR.
VXR, or is it VRX or VXR?
VXR.
Okay.
Yeah. Which car will this new Commodore be heavily based on? It's an Opel POS, as you just mentioned before.
Oh, I don't know Opels at all, so I assume that it will be some.
Probably
Small
based on the
sedan.
Astra.
Nah, it's the Insignia, unfortunately.
Oofed.
And the last question: the new Supra, or alleged Supra, will share its engine with what car company?
Still has 3
It's-
letters.
Yeah, it does have 3 letters.
It does have 3
It
letters.
does have the 3 letters. Is it it's a German? No, I've just given it away now.
It's going to be really bad if I don't get it now.
Yeah,
With 3 letters.
3 letters.
They make the legendary M.
Oh, really? BMW.
BMW, yeah.
Wow, that's actually cool.
That is cool. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.5.
Yeah.
These quizzes actually suck.
That's actually good for a first. That's like everyone's first time.
It's everyone's first time on the quiz. That is not bad at all. Look, we're going to go to our last break of the night. We'll be right back after this. You're back on CarTorque with Manny J. We're about to wrap up the show. But, Reese, have you learnt much about the MX5 that you didn't know before?
Yeah, other than it started on Need for Speed, I didn't really know much about it. I think the pop-up headlights, I guess, started the Honda Prelude trend as well when they came out. They were pretty cool.
Well, Preludes had pop-ups
Or similar
in
timing.
the 80s as well.
The Gen 3.
Gen 3, yeah.
Yeah.
My mum had one. She bought it for $500 with a sunroof. It was cool.
It was cool.
With no Mazda, though.
Cool.
Now, I'm a big fan of Preludes. I think they're a really underappreciated car.
For what they are.
For what
I
they
suppose.
are,
I mean,
yeah.
they're not trying to be a sports car. They're more of a tour.
$500 car.
Hey, the later ones with what they call the V2 Rs went pretty well. They had,
Yeah,
they had the VTEC engine on.
Yeah, 2.2 litre.
Yeah.
Yeah, H22.
Yeah, that's the one. Really, really strong engine too. Like I remember my mates when he pulled. I was like, this is not too bad.
Yeah, unfortunately they just didn't get the support that the B series did.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously there's still turbo manifolds and things like that you can do to them, but never as much as the B.
Or a K series for that matter as well.
K's the new B, I suppose.
It is, yeah. People are doing K20, 24s and all sorts of crazy stuff with them now.
Well, mentioning that, a friend of mine, Tim, in Sydney, has Australia's fastest K20A.
Oh, wow,
in a
okay.
Civic. Yeah.
Is it NA or is it...
No, NA, all
all
NA.
motor, yeah.
Yeah, and he's actually a hot import night, so
Cool.
good luck to him.
Yeah. Good luck, yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully you do well.
Yeah, so do I. I mean, speaking of Hondas, on Thursday night, West JDM, so a car group that we hang out with.
Yep.
Over in the western suburbs, they're having a bit of a meet down at Derrimut Car Wash, so all
Cool.
your Honda fans, go down, check out what's going on down there.
Yeah, get down there.
Yeah.
So where was it again?
It's Derrimut Car Wash. Couldn't tell you the street, but it's Derrimut Road.
Derrimut Road.
Derrimut, right near the Doherty's gym there.
Cool.
I think it is Doherty's gym. Derrimut gym.
Derrimut Gym, yeah. Sounds good. So all your Honda fanboys out there, get there. It should be, it might be a good gathering.
Yeah, no, we usually get a good turnout and
Cool.
nice group of guys.
Yeah. I've got nothing but good things to say about like the Honda guys I've met. So they're not the usual ones you see in the States.
Yeah, yeah. No, Honda guys unfortunately get a lot of hate.
They do.
It's not always warranted.
That's I couldn't
Save that for
completely
the
agree.
Holden Ford owners.
See, he's having a go at us. First night on the show, he's having a go at us.
Between us. Coyote the world. No one can afford to barrow the world.
He's having a go first night. I love it. But thank you for coming on the show, Dave.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Enjoyed it.
Thanks, James, for coming on again.
No worries, thanks for having me.
And thank you, Rhys.
Thank you for embarrassing me about Japanese stuff as always.
Mate.
I need to go home and actually do some homework.
Mate,
I know none of this K, B, A. I never did my alphabet, obviously, so time to brush up.
Mate, I'm into every sort of car, so you got to hang out with me more often. This has been Car Talk with Matty J. Like and share our Facebook pages, Car Talk, TORQUE with Matty J. We're also on Instagram, so follow it's Matty J _ Car Talk podcast. If you missed any of our previous shows, the links to are on our Facebook page. So we're on Shout Engine, and we're also on iTunes. So subscribe, rate, and review there. Get us higher on the iTunes ranking, so we can get more. Pretty much put out to a wider audience. We've got listeners all over the world. So thank you again for listening to our show. I'll see you same time next week, 6 p.m. 7 p.m. I should say. That's James' show. But in the meantime, take it easy.
Apparel coming soon by Auto Refuge.
Quick plug.
This is professional radio, gentlemen.
And it's front wheel drive.
Scotty, have you got anyone you want to thank?
Just myself.
And now we do the after hours. Dun, dun, dun.
Gentlemen, what would you go for?
Tastiest in there. Okay, and because it's not a supercar.
But it is.
It's not.
Automotive perfection comes in the form of two letters, A and U.
Long live my LTD!